Good morning, my dear students. This is the second video of chapter 15, class 5, social studies. So in the first video of chapter 15, we learned that how the Britishers came to India and how they started their training centers in our country. That we all learned. Okay, and in 1600 CE, they have started their trading company, that is the English East India Company in Surat, isn't it? With the permission of Queen Elizabeth I, and here also with the permission of the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Okay, and after that, Jahangir was the Mughal Emperor at that period. That means in 1600 CE. After that, Mughal dynasty, after the death of Aurangzeb, okay, Jahangir, after Jahangir's death, Shah Jahan came, and Shah Jahan's son Aurangzeb became the Mughal emperor, and after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, okay, the Mughal dynasty became, the power of Mughal dynasty decreased, okay, and we can see that Aurangzeb was the last powerful ruler of the Mughal dynasty. And after the death of him, Aurangzeb, the Mughal dynasty became very weak, and then gradually the power of that dynasty decreased. And that period, the British army, that means the English East India Company, became more ambitious. They want to take control of all other parts of that means of our country, and they want to start a lot of trading companies in our country, and they want to take control of all the parts of our country, and they want to take control in Bengal. That was the reason behind the Battle of Plassey. So today we are going to learn about the Battle of Plassey. It was happened in 1757. Okay, for remembering that year it is very easy, 1757. Okay, don't forget 1757, Battle of Plassey, 1757 it was took place. Okay, so today we are going to learn about the Battle of Plassey. It was happened in 1757. Okay, so the reason behind Battle of Plassey was British East India Company, that means the English East India Company want to take control of Bengal, because Bengal was the richest province in our country that time. That was the reason behind the Battle of Plassey. So that period, Siraj-ud-Dawla, this is Siraj-ud-Dawla. He was Siraj-ud-Dawla. He was the Nawab of Bengal at that time. Okay, he was the Nawab of Bengal, and we can see that he was the last independent Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dawla. He was the last independent Nawab of Bengal. Okay, he was the Nawab of Bengal, and then at that period, Robert Clive was the commander-in-chief of the Bengal, that means the British army, Robert Clive. And about Robert Clive, we can say that he was very courageous and he was very resourceful military officer in the British army, and he was very intelligent. Okay, that period Robert Clive was the commander-in-chief, and Siraj-ud-Dawla was the Nawab of Bengal. Okay, and then what was happened? So before that battle, under the leadership of Robert Clive, they started maintaining their army. They have started maintaining their army in Bengal, and then they started fortify Calcutta. Fortify means, it is the meaning of that word fortify. It is given in the last page of your chapter 15. Okay, fortify means to make a place able to resist attack. Especially they are building high walls for resist that battle or attack. They are building high walls, that is fortify. Okay, so before that battle, under the leadership of this intelligent Robert Clive, they have started maintaining their army in Bengal, and then fortify, that means building high walls. At that period, Siraj-ud-Dawla came to know about these things. These things are happening in my province, in Bengal. And suddenly he said that remove all these things, remove your army from Bengal and remove all the fortifications that you are doing in my province, that is in Bengal. But that time British, that means Robert Clive, refused to remove all these fortifications and army from their Bengal. Okay, and then suddenly Sirajuddaula declared war on them. That was, and how it was happened, Battle of Plassey, that is, this is how the Battle of Plassey was started. Okay, and then unfortunately, comparing to Sirajuddaula's army, British's army were very powerful and they had new weapons and new strategies, policies were there, and then at last the result was the Britishers emerged victorious. They won the battle and Sirajuddaula captured and put to death. Okay, that was the reason behind Battle of Plassey and the impact and the result. Clear? The reason behind Battle of Plassey was Britishers want to take control in Bengal because Bengal was the richest province in our country, and then Sirajuddaula, he was the Nawab of Bengal, and at that period Robert Clive was the commander-in-chief of the British army, and then they maintained their army in Bengal, and then all the fortifications they have done, that means they build high walls to resist the attack, and suddenly Sirajuddaula said that remove all these from my province, and they refused to remove all these fortifications and the army, and then the battle was happened in 1757. At last the result was, what was the result? The result was British emerged victorious. Okay, and this was the first step towards the conquest of Bengal. Okay, and here we will write Battle of Plassey. It was happened in 1757. Who was the Nawab of Bengal? Siraj-ud-Dawla. Okay, he was the Nawab of Bengal at that time. And then here British Army. Here Robert Clive was the commander-in-chief of this army. Robert Clive was the commander-chief of the British army. Okay, this was Battle of Plassey. Clear this much? So here we can see that after this Battle of Plassey, Bengal finally not came under the custody of British. Partially, we can say that partially it came under the custody of British rule, but not fully. It was in another battle. Okay, that was happened in 1764. Okay, it is the name of that battle is Battle of Bexar. Okay, after the Battle of Bexar, Bengal finally came under the custody of British rule. Okay, that was Battle of Bexar. Okay, here we can see that in Battle of Bexar, it was took place in 1764, and after Sirajuddaula, the Nawab Mir Qasim was the Nawab of Bengal at that time during the time of Battle of Bexar. Okay, Mir Qasim, and then for helping this Mir Qasim, who came, do you know that? The Nawab of Awadh, that is Shauja-ud-Dawla. He was the Nawab of Awadh. And Mughal Emperor Shah Alam These three people were there. Okay, these three of them were the one side, and the another side British Army. That means the British English East India Company were there. Okay, so Mir Qasim was the Nawab of Bengal during the time of Battle of Bexar, and then Shauja-ud-Dawla, he was the Nawab of Awadh, and then the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. These three were in one side, and then another side British Army were there. But here also, unfortunately, we all know that British Army were very powerful at that time. Okay, and then again they emerged victorious. Okay, and after this Battle of Bexar, what was happened? Bengal finally came under the custody of British rule. Okay, so that is Battle of Bexar. So it was started from Battle of Plassey and it ended in Battle of Bexar. Okay, Bengal, province of Bengal finally came under the custody of British rule after the Battle of Bexar. Okay, and after these two battles, the Battle of Plassey and also in Battle of Bexar, what was happened? The English East India Company laid the foundation of their colonial rule in our country. That means they want to make our country as their colonies. That is colonial rule. Okay, so after this battle, they were very powerful, and then they laid their foundation stone as their colonial rule in our country. And after this Battle of Bexar, they started or they introduced lot of policies in our country. Why? Because through these policies, they have started many policies. These policies, they can see that and they know that they they became the rulers, they can become the rulers of our country. That was the reason. Okay, they started lot of policies, and here we are going to learn two important policies that they have started at that time. Okay, the first one, the subsidiary alliance. Okay, what was it? The subsidiary alliance. The subsidiary alliance. It was introduced Lord Richard Wellesley. Okay, who was introduced? Lord Richard Wellesley. Here is our Lord Wellesley. Okay, he was Lord Richard Wellesley. He was the Governor General of India from 1798 to 1805. Okay, it was introduced by Lord Richard Wellesley. Okay, 1798 to 1805. Okay, this was the tenure of Lord Richard Wellesley as the Governor General of India. Clear? And he introduced the subsidiary alliance. Now we are going to learn about what is this subsidiary alliance. So here, through this subsidiary alliance, they said that means the Britishers said that in every Indian ruler, they had to accept to pay some subsidy to the British for maintaining the British army. Here that means they have to pay some subsidy, means they have to pay some amount of money to the British. Why? What is the reason behind that? For the maintenance of British army. So every Indian ruler, that means for every kingdom, the rulers have to give that much money, some amount of money to the British for the maintenance of British army. And one more thing is, one more point they have added in that policy, that is, as we all know that time exports and imports were happening in our country, that means some foreign affairs were happening in our country. The rulers, the kingdom, the rulers had to give their foreign affairs to the British. That point was also there. Okay, and then here we can see that one crooked mind of the Britishers, isn't it? So they said that in this subsidiary alliance, every Indian ruler had to accept to give some subsidy. That means a sum of money, some amount of money to the British for the maintenance of the British army. And one more point is there, they had to give their foreign affairs to the government. That means the external affairs to the government. And in return, what they will do for us? In return, they said that if any rival, that means any enemies, any other kingdom will attack you, that time we will help you. Clear? That was an interesting part of this subsidiary alliance, isn't it? So they said that in return, what they will do for us? They will protect. They will protect us from the attack of the rivals. Okay, if any another country or any province will attack us, then definitely we will help you. That was subsidiary alliance. And who was introduced? It was introduced Lord Richard Wellesley. Okay, Lord Richard Wellesley. He was introduced this policy in our country. He was the Governor General of India when from 1798 to 1805. Clear? Okay, and then the next policy was doctrine of lapse. The second policy the English East India Company, that means the British, introduced in our country, that is doctrine of lapse. Okay, doctrine of lapse. Clear? This was the second policy the English East India Company introduced in our country. And it was introduced, mainly this policy was introduced, Lord Dalhousie was introduced. Okay, Lord Dalhousie introduced this policy in our country. Okay, and he was also a Governor General of our country from 1848 to 1856. Okay, Lord Dalhousie. From 1848 to 1856, Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General of India, and he introduced this doctrine of lapse in our country. So now, what is this doctrine of lapse? What is this doctrine of lapse? Lapse means for temporarily some kind of things from our custody, it will come into the Britishers' hand. That means they said that in our country, that means in our rulers, any of our rulers are not having their natural born kids. Okay, and after the death of that ruler, that kingdom, that province will come under the custody of British rule. That is doctrine of lapse. So we can see that these two policies, we can see that the crooked mind of the Britishers, isn't it? So in any rulers, they are not having their natural born kid. That means after the death of that ruler, that kingdom or that province will came under the custody of British rule. That is doctrine of lapse. So these were the important policies they have introduced in our country. That is the subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of lapse. So subsidiary alliance, it introduced Lord Richard Wellesley. He was the Governor General of India from 1798 to 1805. Okay, and then I already explained that what is subsidiary alliance. Okay, and then the second one, doctrine of lapse. It introduced Lord Dalhousie. He was the Governor General of India from 1848 to 1856. So after the introduction of these two policies, we can see that they became the Britishers became the rulers of our country. Okay, and I hope that you all have understood today's topic, Battle of Plassey and Battle of Belsar, and these two policies, the subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse. Okay, so I am giving you two homework today. The first one, who introduced the subsidiary alliance in our country. Second question. When did the Battle of Belsar take place? These are the two small homeworks I am giving you today. Okay, children, and the short notes about the subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse I will give you in the parent portal. I will upload in the parent portal. So you can write from there in your classwork copy. Okay, students, so we will meet in the next video. Thank you.